What is going on, guys? It is Trifecta J, and this is episode 5 of my NBA 2K MyGM on the PS4 with the Atlanta Hawks, taking on the Detroit Pistons. Another reunion, as this is Josh Smith back in, I think this is Atlanta? Yeah, he's back in Atlanta, not for the first time, but this is the first time that I've played against him as Atlanta, with him being in Detroit. For any of you who don't know, he was drafted by the Hawks and played for the Hawks for multiple years until Danny Ferry came along and got rid of him. He's a player who he's crazy athletic, but it's a little annoying to watch him play basketball sometimes because he loves to take long twos and he just loves to take threes, which he's not very good at. And this Detroit Pistons team runs a very big lineup with Greg Monroe, Andre Drummond, and Josh Smith is your front court. That's a huge front court, and this is a team that would give us a ton of trouble in the playoffs, as this could be a potential playoff matchup, as these are both probably playoff caliber teams. And that's an and one by Jeff T right there. But they just have so much size, it's not something that we can really handle, because like our starting small forward right now is Gordon Hayward, and he can't really guard Josh Smith. He's not athletic or big enough to. And then our two big men might be able to, but it's just not something that you really want to see, as that's a great pass right there by Gordon Hayward, and that's a point for Al Horford. So you can see our record right now is 23-21. I think we're the 7th seed right now in the East, about halfway through the season. Not a great performance so far. Hopefully we can have a better second half performance of the year. Just to not making a lot of, or not winning a lot as you would expect from this team. We may make a couple of moves at the trade deadline, try and make this team a little better, as Dennis Schroeder hits the top of the key jumper right there. So now Lou Williams with the ball, passes to Peruantic, shoots the long two, and he gets that shot in, as it's a 4-point lead for the Detroit Pistons. Looking for a screen once more from Peruantic, long two again, and he gets that one in, as that's actually ruled a three. He got right behind the line. Lou Williams with the ball into the first quarter, not able to get that one to go, but Birdman right there dunks that in on the putback. Great play from Chris Anderson, and that will take us into the first quarter, up by 1. A pretty good performance from the Hawks in the first quarter. Like I said, not something you would expect, as we match up very poorly with this Detroit Pistons team. They've probably the biggest lineup out of anyone in basketball. And so Gordon Hayward with the ball in the corner for Jeff Teague, knocks it down, as that's a 4-point lead, start of the second quarter. So Jeff Teague gets that ball and he steals it on the fast break, kicks it to Shelvin Mack, and he dunks that ball in. 6-point lead, 7 minute in the second quarter. Millsap in the post, kicks it back out to Jeff Teague. Great pass right there, a little touch pass to Shelvin Mack, and he knocks the 3 in. That's something that I really want this team to be good at. I want them all to be good passers, or at least be willing passers. In this game it's a little more difficult because I'm the one controlling them, but when like games are simming, I want players who are willing to pass, and I feel like most players on this team are. As the game is now tied up at 33, Shelvin Mack with the ball, kicks it back out to Jeff Teague, and he shoots the 3 and knocks that shot down. 9 points on the day for Jeff Teague so far. Brandon Jennings out to Greg Monroe on the perimeter to Drekbo, and great cut right there from Greg Monroe, and that gives the Pistons the first lead on the day. So now Jeff Teague with the ball, Josh Smith in the corner, sort of sagging off him, and then Jeff Teague goes on the help defense, which is a really frustrating thing. I was trying to sag off Josh Smith so we maybe would shoot threes, but instead then one of my players would go on the help defense, and then that would leave his man open, as that's something you can't do. You can't help the helper. And so now Luigi Datome in the paint, a really nice lay-in right there. Schroeder with the ball, passes the Birdman. Birdman lays that shot up and in. Really nice pass. So Jarnell Stokes steals that pass and puts it up, as the Pistons go into halftime with a 6-point lead. Not a great performance, after a pretty good first quarter, second quarter not.
Josh, you guys seemed intent on getting this win tonight. How important a game was this to this team?
Most definitely. I mean, this game is important as the next. We really need this win. I'm pretty sure they need it too. So, you know, you expect a good show out of all of us.
Two hungry teams, no doubt about it, Josh. Thanks for the time.
Okay, Doris, thanks. And
Always forget about those interviews. So now Gordon Hayward with the ball. Paul Millsap hits the nice jumper. So Brandon Jennings with the ball now. Beats both Hayward and Teague off the dribble and lays that shot up and in for a 10-point lead from the Pistons. And this is about where the game just started to get out of control. Korver for 3 and he shoots and scores as that actually cuts the lead to 7. But Josh Smith with the alley-oop from Chauncey, and he just dunks that in, as it's sort of unfair playing against a Josh Smith or a Paul George or one of the really athletic players, as they just go for those dunks again and again on the alley-oops. So now Horford, really nice play right there. Millsap in the corner, and he shoots and scores, cuts the lead back to 7. So 7-point lead. Josh Smith with the hook shot, and that's actually Andre Drummond, and he gets that one to go. Josh Smith in the post, fadeaway jumper, and he gets that shot in, as Josh Smith, more of a power forward. That's really the position he needs to be playing, but he is a small forward for the Pistons, as Lou hits the little mid-range floater. Now on the fast break, that's Brandon Jennings dunking that in. Jeff Teague with the ball, getting a screen from Horford. Horford, really nice cutting to the basket, and he sort of fades away on that layup and gets that shot to go. Into the third quarter, down by 12. Chauncey with the ball, getting in the lane, pulls up and gets that shot in for a 14-point lead going into the fourth quarter. As now Jeff Teague with the ball, trying to roll the ball up the court. Jeff Teague picks it up towards the end of the third quarter, kicks it to Hayward. Hayward for 3, and he does not get that shot to go. So like I said, 14-point deficit going into the fourth quarter. Really, really bad performance in the third quarter. This was just where the Pistons started to take over the game. You can see that dunk again from Josh Smith. Chauncey on the perimeter, passes it into the post for Greg Monroe. Greg Monroe backing down Millsap, and he gets that off the glass. Millsap on the perimeter now, gets that pass to Jeff Teague, looking from a screen from Paul Millsap. He gets his screen, and then Paul Millsap from the elbow gets that shot in, as that's his 8th point on the day. 9 minutes left. God. That was Andre Drummond that time on the alley-oop from Chauncey. Sort of a similar play as the Josh Smith one earlier, as 14-point lead toward the end of the shot clock. And that's Jimmer Fredette from way downtown. And then Andre Drummond just gets the rebound and lays it back up and in. Jeff Teague gets a steal from Brandon Jennings on the fast break, and he dunks that one in. The lead is now 12. Chauncey, and then that passes to Josh Smith, and he dunks that one in, as this is a dunk fest right now. A lot of really nice dunks in this game. Drummond to Chauncey. Chauncey long 2, and he rattles that shot in. 16-point lead for the Pistons right now. So Billups once more in the lane, and that is a 18-point lead. Chauncey having a really nice game for the Pistons, as this is not the Chauncey in real life who blew out his Achilles and hasn't really been effective. This is still a extremely effective Chauncey Billups, as Jeff Teague hits the 3. And so Brandon Jennings with the ball now, kicks it to Billups. Josh Smith in the post, and he kicks that ball to Greg Monroe. Millsap jumps, and whoa, my goodness, Greg Monroe getting really fancy right there with the and 1. Teague right with the ball to Korver. Korver for 3, knocks that shot in. Leads 15. The game's pretty much over, and as now it's 17. And Millsap for 3, and he gets that shot in, as that's a 14-point lead now. But with 3 minutes left, that's pretty hard to overcome. Josh Smith with the ball into the post for Drummond. That's a huge mismatch with Gordon Hayward on him, and Drummond just hit with the little hook shot right there. So now Brandon Jennings bringing the ball up the floor. Josh Smith kicks it to Andre Drummond. Really nice passing from this Detroit Pistons team, and that will pretty much do it. A 24-point loss from this Hawks team. Horrible, horrible performance in the second half. As I said it multiple times earlier in the video, this is a team that we do not match up well with, and I'm very scared if we have to play them in the playoffs, assuming we make the playoffs. But I feel like this team's definitely a playoff team. But I believe there's another interview with Josh Smith or Paul.
Josh, what a great great performance tonight, and we've heard your coach praise the versatility of your game and desire to continue to see that expand your influence on this team. It seems like this is something that you've really embraced.
Most definitely. I mean, I like to use, my versatility to help benefit things that I can do on the court. As long as I fly around, be active on defense, take my time and be efficient on the block for this team in the mid-range area, I think that we'll be okay.
Nothing better than to see us watch your high flyer act. Josh, thank you. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Doris, for that. And now for Clark.
So, very poor performance. Andre Drummond is your player of the game. In this game, we got beat in the paint 64 points to 20. Huge difference right there. That's probably the difference in this entire game. And then we had twice as many turnovers. Jeff Teague had 9 turnovers by himself. Corver, Lou Williams, and Gordon Hayward, none of them shot the ball very well. And Detroit had a lot more steals than we did. Just very poor performance. And Josh Smith did not take a single 3 in this entire game. That's something that Detroit should be very happy with. Not something you want to see him ever do. But I hope you enjoyed, because I'm out.